What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of the gaming community? It's your boy Centurion1307 coming back at you once again. It's just come out that Microsoft is giving up on putting XCloud on iOS until further notice. This has led to a few customers feeling let down and Microsoft looking bad, but you must absolutely know this is actually on Apple, and here are the facts. For starters, Microsoft has been quite vocal on the problems they've had in dealing with Apple and getting XCloud on the Apple Store. As we speak, Apple is right now currently under investigation for 2 counts of antitrust violations in the European Union. This has led to the powers that be here in the United States to start asking questions, and they have asked Microsoft to come in and give their input on the problems they've had with Apple. Let's start with the trivial and then we'll work our way up to the big stuff. Apple just recently stated in one of these investigations that one of the main reasons why Microsoft was not allowed to be on their store was because it violated the remote user agreement. If you read the rule right here on the screen, it plainly states that the only remote access you can have is from the phone to a host computer or console that is owned by the user. We all know XCloud is on the cloud and we don't have an Azure server sitting in our closet somewhere, so therefore there is no way XCloud can be on the store for this one reason alone. The game is not on your own device. There is also another rule in their rulebook that appears to make it that Xbox cannot put any third-party games in the XCloud service. Now, Apple also wants each game that you will have access to through XCloud to be individually uploaded to the Apple Store and undertake an individual review process per game. This review is stated to protect the consumer and to make sure that the game meets Apple's standards. Just stop and think about that for a second. Just how long would that take to review every game that's going to be available on XCloud? This is one of the complaints in the antitrust investigation, as other services are not required to submit their content for review, services like Netflix and Amazon Prime. Apple has already been doing this to the music industry with a few music apps and stating that all music must be submitted under some form of Apple iTunes master format. Now we're going to get to that end-all be-all reason why, and if you haven't guessed it, you probably are close to it. It's money. The Apple Store, when it was created, was not supposed to generate as much revenue as it currently is, but when Apple found out that this thing was a gold mine, it went to their head. Listed in articles down below, you will see how Steve Jobs and other executives designed the Apple Store to promote their products and actually hold other products down. Still to this day, you cannot buy digital books through Amazon Kindle on the Apple Store, and there's even an email explaining that Steve Jobs did this deliberately because they wanted to force Amazon's hand. Apple has also decreed that any subscription-based service in their App Store must have an in-app purchase option that comes with a 15 to 30% tax that goes to Apple. Now, there is some apps that you can go onto the internet and subscribe and you can still have access to them in the Apple Store, but Apple is now recently starting to crack down on developers doing this. Spotify was the original company to start the antitrust investigation over the practices of this 30% tax. Spotify claimed because of this 30% tax, they would have to raise the prices on their subscription. And by doing this, Apple is actually artificially inflating the cost of its competitors. By having all the services that Apple owns and operates competing against these other developers that are under these 30% taxes, it actually starts skirting monopoly laws and becomes illegal. This is what happens when you become one of the top companies in the world. Companies like Valve and Facebook have had to release watered-down versions of their apps lacking features, all due to Apple's standards and practices. Well, Microsoft has put their foot down and said that they would not create an inferior app that would create an inferior experience on the Apple Store, and that they would definitely not let Apple cut into all their profits and proceeds to the tune of 30% of every purchase that would be made through the XCloud experience. Could you imagine every $1 million you made, you had to give $300,000 to the guy that just stood there? This has led to Microsoft and other developers from all around the world asking world governments to take a deep look at Apple Store and their 30% tax. The average credit card company taxes the average small business anywhere from 2 to 5% for all credit card purchases. Everything I've been reading on the Apple antitrust investigation spells strong winds of change are coming for Apple soon. Please don't feel let down by Microsoft, as they truly did try to work out something with Apple to get XCloud in your hands. Till then, we'll just have to use an Android device with that awesome looking Razer Kishi controller. So here we are once again, friends, at the end of another video. Really, I'm serious. I appreciate it every time you come here and tune into what I have to say and watch my content. Here on my channel, I try to be straightforward, level-headed, and non-toxic. So if you're new to the neighborhood, please click the subscribe button down below. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, be sure to come follow me on Twitter, as you will find the location to the podcasts I'm on throughout the week and every time I drop content. This is where I try to change the world in saying positive change starts with us. So let's please game united out there and stay safe. Thanks for watching.